Okay, here we are again. I'm going to have a look in here and see how they're going today, and we might do a little harvest a bit later. So we'll just have an inspection of the honey super. Just set my camera up. Alrighty, I'll put this over here in the corner. And let's see, we might have to change the settings here a little bit, but we'll see how we go. One there, that's alright. So, hang on, I'll just have to tilt this a little bit. Work out what I'm doing here with my stand. Alrighty, we'll give them a bit more smoke and we'll see how we're going. Okay, so I do have a new inner cover. I'm going to replace this one, so as you can see that one's actually quite bad, but we'll get that sorted out when I fit the new one. Today's just the honey inspection and then maybe a harvest, and we'll see how we go. it going again. It's going out a little bit. Plenty of nectar being collected there, and that side there is actually fully capped, so that one won't be far off in maybe a week or so, but then again with the wet weather we'll be leaving it for them anyway. Come on girls, out of the way. So, fully capped. Fully capped. There's a heap of weight in that. Nearly 3.5 kilos, 4 kilos. Looks like the next one's the same. Oh, I'll put this back in. Ouch. Kind of squished my finger there a little bit underneath the frame, but that's alright. I'll just I'm going to have a look at these. I'll just separate them, then bring the camera up if I can. I don't want to pull them all the way out. Oh, damn. Got honey in my fingers, so they're after my fingers now. Get off my finger. So, let's take you over for a look. Because they can be deceiving sometimes, the back of them all look nice and full, which you can probably see there. I don't know if you can see down in there, but obviously this is the outer, this frame here was the one that I showed you, but the next frame and the next one will be the same. They're all fully capped on the side, but you do have to check them because unfortunately you can't see whether they are or aren't capped And of course, if you collect the honey and they're not fully capped, well, you end up with slightly raw honey, which is more nectar, or it's watery, and it can ferment. However, generally if you eat it fairly quickly you'd be right, but I can't eat 12 kilos of honey in one go. I'll put this back down, just have another quick look. I'll just slide those frames over and have a look at them, and see how we're going. Yep. Yeah, no, they're all the same. They're completely capped, so I'll be able to harvest that today. So we'll close it back up, I'll let them calm down, and we'll come back and we'll do a little honey harvest. And then I'll see about fixing up this inner cover another day and putting a new roof on and a few things. So I'll just go and set this back up, and I'll show you just in here for a minute. So you can probably see down in there, it's all capped, lots and lots of bees. So yeah, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 that I can harvest. This one's not capped and the other one wasn't, so I'll just reposition these, and I'll put them all back where they were, and we'll go again in just a sec. I'll just put you down for a second. Another little one. Yep, I'm going to put you all back together. because this is the early classic flow hive with a couple of modifications, and was actually a hybrid, which it's not now. What was I going to say? Some of these bits and pieces don't quite match up and don't fit quite 100%, but they're pretty good. And even if you get a standard Langstroth hive, you'll find that they do fit quite well. Oh, there's a hive beetle in there. That's a shame. The bees will get rid of that, chase it out. It's a very strong colony I've got here, because I would estimate if I went through the entire hive, there'd be more than 80,000 bees in this little beehive. So they're calming down. So what I will do, I will come back in a little while and do a harvest, but I'll let them calm down. See, these are all my frames. So what I'll do, because I don't have the adjustable type one, like the Flowhive 2 and 2 Plus, and I don't have the classic Flowhive base. I've actually just got a standard base on mine because I had to do a few modifications, as I said. What I'll do is I'll actually put a little bit of timber underneath the front of the hive, and I'll lift it up, which I'll show you when I'll come back later. Actually, I can probably set that up now anyway. And then that'll allow the honey to then drain to the back of the hive. Also, because it's a classic, it doesn't have, you get little wing nuts for the sides of the, oops, sorry, a couple of bees around me buzzing. You get little wing nuts to put on the side to actually hold the lid on, but being a classic, it doesn't have that. So the strap is only there just to keep the roof in place in high wind. We don't get a lot of high wind, but we did have Cyclone Alfred a few weeks back, so but I always keep something on there just so the roof doesn't blow off. So what I'll do, I'll go get my little bit of wood, I'll prop this up at the front, and when we come back later you'll be able to see when I harvest that honey just flows out of the hive. I probably shouldn't need a smoker in my suit, but I'll probably still wear my suit when I come back. So thanks for coming along. What I'll do is I'll leave you now, and we'll come back shortly. I'll just take my phone off the stand for a second, even though I'm moving around with it. Okay, so alrighty, here we go. Okay, I'll try again. My camera keeps dropping out. Oh, maybe it's too hot for my phone. Ants that are on here. You don't want ants in our honey. Bees are doing their thing up there. I'll get the back and use it for a shelf. Cool. Alrighty, so I'm probably going to do about 4 frames. Grab out my first jar. My little tubes goes in the back. I do believe I forgot one thing, so I'll have to stop this and come back. It's a shame, but anyway, we'll be back in just a sec. Okay, I'll try that again. So, ants there. Take the little clear plug out of the top. The little clear plug out of the bottom. Insert our flow tube. Now, don't do what I did last time. Make sure the jar is underneath the tube. And grabbing the tools, you only need one, but I'm going to use 2. There's 2 slots in the back. Put it in the bottom slot, just to keep it even. Turn them like that. I'll bring the camera over. You should, once again, see the honey starting to flow down inside the tube. And run out the jar. What I might do is I'll actually set up a second one. And see if I can get this over with a little bit quicker than normal. Otherwise I'll be here all day. Alrighty, I'll put you here. And You should be able to still see the bees coming in and out and the honey getting in there. Another jar. And take out the next plug and the next top cap. Put another tube in. Start that one flowing as well. It's a lovely colour. Could be wrong, but I think that second one's a little bit lighter in colour. We'll do a comparison afterwards. Oh, my jars are falling over. That's alright. They look like little beehives. That's pretty cool. I'll get pretty close. These hold about 500 grams, or just half a kilo. There we go. How well it's going to stay, maybe. Another one ready for the next one. Bit of a slow process, but it's cool because you actually get to see the honey the bees have collected coming out of the hive. You don't have to sit there and struggle cutting wax off frames and spinning it out and then excluder. Next door's obviously interested. The dogs have it all marked. This next one, it's about the same colour as well. Yum. They're about the same colour. Anyway. I think I'll put them up there. It kind of looks cool. This one back into here. Let's go where it stops, so a little bit more. Turn it again. Down about the same speed, so hopefully I can grab them in time. Looks like we've got a visitor. Come on you, there you go. Oh yes, she fell in. Worse for you. On the front there. Otherwise, going to get all the honey off you. honey. Alrighty. Okay, so I'll lock this one off because it's finished now. And I'll put the little cap back in the top so I know that it's closed. And when the final drips run out of that one and I pull that tube out, I put the little plug back in the bottom. And the other one is not going to have a lot in it, but just catching what's left in that tube, there's not a lot there. So that was the one with the black lid from the first one that we did. So the gold one up the top, I'll put it under this one when it runs down. I'll get this one, should be pretty well full when it gets there, and then I can use the little bit left in that one. And those two, which won't have much in them, well, they'll be ours anyway, but they'll be a mixture of the frames, whereas the ones with all the different lids, which will be gold will be one flavour, black will be one other flavour, white will be a flavour, and black with a tag will also be another flavour. So these are really cool creatures. You'll actually find there'll be different tastes on that honey because it comes from separate frames. Normally when you get honey, it's all harvested, wax is cut off, and then the frames are spun out, the centrifuge extracts all the honey. Because it mixes all together, you get a lovely honey flavour, and depending on what they've been harvesting, it could be any sort of mixture of combinations, but when it's individual like this, you can actually taste the difference in each honey. You'll find each one of those, the 4 frames, will have 4 actually almost completely different honey tastes, from floral and fruity and citrusy, wattly, obviously if they've got wattles, or you could even, obviously eucalyptus, they all have wonderful flavours. That's the white lid, that's the gold lid there, that's the black lid there, and we'll just clean up those last little bits and we'll be just about done. This has been a really good harvest. Let's see, I'll just count this up here. 6. So it looks like we got 6 with the gold lids, 6 with the black lids, plus this little bit left over, 5 of the black lids with tags, and 5 of the white lids. So that's quite good actually. So yeah, I think we did rather well. So it's around about 11, almost 12. Yeah, about 12 kilos. Not quite 12 kilos. I think it's about 11. But I'll count it all up and we'll take a video of it inside, sitting on the washing machine like we normally do. And yeah, we'll count it all up and see what we ended up with. Cool. Thanks for watching this bit, and stay tuned. We'll be back in a sec, which will be no time at all for you. But for me, it'll be a little bit because I've got to get all this inside and count it all and video it again. So yeah, we'll be back shortly. Okay, so we ended up with 6 out of the first frame, 6 out of the second frame, 5 out of the other 2 frames, and a little bit left over out of all of those frames. So that's well, that's 3, and that becomes 6, and that's 5 and 5, which is 10, which becomes 5. So you got 6, hang on, sorry, 3, that's 6, and 5 and 5, so that's 2.5, 2.5, so it becomes 5, so 5 and 6 is 11, and probably with those two would probably come up to 11.5, 11 and a little bit over a half, so probably 11 and, we'll say 11.5 anyway, that'll be fine. So it wasn't too bad, so 11.5 kilos out of 4 flow high frames. So I think that turned out rather well. Alright, well, thanks for coming along for this little honey harvest, and see how we go next time. Bye for now, or forever. Be kind to one another.